Hey, you.
Over here, Agent.
Slayer. Yo, what's up?
Hey, over here.
Hello and welcome to Control Alt WoW, the podcast for video games of all kinds. Today is Tuesday, November 12th, 2024, and this is episode 814 entitled Happy Birthday, Grand Nagus. And coincidentally, with me is Grand Nagus. Hello, Grand Nagus.
Hi, William.
But it's not your birthday, right?
No, it's not my birthday. It's Grand Nagus' sixth birthday. So what is Sean? And coincidentally, Rom's birthday as well.
Oh, how funny! Yes.
So yeah, so it's all the some of the actors that played Ferengi. So Max Broderick has his birthday today as well, and if I remember my timeline correctly, I saw that Armin Shimmerman had his birthday maybe a week ago.
Oh, okay.
Roughly, so they are pretty close in birthdays.
Yeah.
Now I want to know. Yeah, now I want to know when Brunt has his birthday.
Right. It'd be interesting to see. Yeah. I still remember Quark from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He was great in that.
Yeah.
Until he got eaten by a big snake. So, thank you for joining me. I'm glad that we have the opportunity to get back together and talk about video games, and because I've missed doing this, and I've been kind of doing it on my own, but not consistently. And you're still playing Final Fantasy XIV, right?
I am. Yes, I basically exclusively play that Final Fantasy XIV. There are a couple of other games I dabble in, but that's more like a thing where if I want to see something different for afternoon or something, then I go through my Steam library and pick a game there. But generally, I play Final Fantasy.
Well, it is a very well-made game, and they have done a fantastic job on the graphics. The graphics and the customization is amazing, so I don't blame you on that. But there is one other game you play on a regular basis, or is that a secret? Pokemon.
What? Oh, yeah. Pokemon Go, yeah, well.
Yes.
I basically use that or play that when I'm outside. So
it is a good game for playing outside. Now, I've been playing since 2016. I think my first character was 2016, which is pretty amazing for a handheld game. And I think you probably were playing before that, weren't you?
I can't remember when I started. I don't know if you can see when you started.
If you go look at your profile of your character, it'll show you what date it started on. But for me, I have to multi-box everything. So I play I have 3 characters, one of each. Actually, I have 4, but I only play 3. One of each color or faction.
Yeah.
And I do it a lot because I find that it helps keep my head busy, Just in case, yes, if you scroll down underneath, my start date on my blue character, which was Aprillian, but now is AprilPvd, was July 9th, 2016. So, and it's kind of neat. I have some Pokemon from way back then. And I like the fact that you can...
When did you say? July 16?
July 9th, 2016.
9th. Okay, so July 15 for me.
Oh.
So you're ahead for about a week, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you play what color?
I play blue.
Okay. So I have a blue, yellow, and red. So, and what's really neat is that we can send gifts to each other, and they have the landmarks from, where you are. So I get stuff from Germany. I have do you remember Brewdog that we used to play with? He's been sending me stuff from Las Vegas, which is kind of neat, and it's neat to get stuff from other places. And if I have a spot open, then the egg that I hatch from your gift says that it came from wherever you sent it from. So it's kind of neat.
Yeah.
I had a nephew.
And if you get sent an egg from a different continent, it has the chance to get that continent exclusive.
Oh wow!
Pokemon.
Nice. Now I have one question, and then we'll get into serious stuff. The stickers. Yes.
Yes.
At one time, I was very pro stickers, but then I noticed that sometimes if I put a sticker in my a spot in my postcard, it then represented it separately if it had a sticker. So I was thinking, oh, they just did the stickers so that they would fill up your postcards faster, because then you would have to buy more postcard spaces.
It shouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, but and then I ran out of postcard spots, because you at one point you could only have 1,000, I think it was, and I had to go in and purge.
Oh my God!
I know,
the evil P word.
Right, and then one day it popped up that I could buy some more. Of course, you buy things using coins from leaving your Pokemon to defend a gym, which can be hard if you don't have a lot of gyms, around. Fortunately, there's this.
Or you buy them for real life money.
Yes. Yeah, or you buy them. I'm sure that's what they prefer.
Of course.
But anyways, I really like Pokemon. I like to get the gifts from different people, and I like going around defending spots. I was really surprised about here, especially. A lot of the gyms are full. There's
where I am too. It depends on upon the day, time of day. Like when, obviously, if it's like noon or like peak hours, where people are out and about,
right?
Then there are more Pokemon. They left more Pokemon, and because they're just like passers by and they stop what they're doing and then leaving one
and go on.
Yeah, and once the they are cleared in the evening, and
late at night when there's more right. When there's more people, less people going through, and more of a long-term chance of someone taking over.
If you go and you're lucky enough to be the person that only battles 2 of the remaining Pokemon that are in there, then you can put your own in.
Right.
If you capture the one of the different color, But then again, if you do that, there's only yours in there.
Right.
So that leaves it open to
Somebody,
easy attack.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what happens here, and I'm suspicious of this. I have noticed several gyms on a regular basis that I'll go past where the Pokemon are almost all of low hit value. Like somebody goes around and gets them almost down and leaves it there for someone else to come along and wipe out the gym. I mean,
or they just don't have enough. They don't have enough teams to wipe them all out.
Oh, well, I have... How many Pokemon do you have? I have a gazillion. It's funny because one of my yellow one has a lot of money, but not a lot of eggs. Not a lot of golden eggs.
Yeah, but you need to level them as well, and you need to have good ones as well.
Right.
And oftentimes you don't have enough dust to level them.
Oh no, I have so much dust. I have enough dust to level. So I can do that. Because I feed I go past a gym and I'll feed a Pokemon in a gym, especially, and that gives you some more dust. But I have, this one has 846 Pokemon. But one of the things, I didn't mean to get so big into this, but one of the things...
No, that's okay.
One of the things I've been trying to get are the pumpkaboos. I'm assuming they're Halloween ones. The little... And because the nicest thing about them is that if you trade them... Then there's no cost to level them up, to evolve them. So I have been obsessed about getting them and then checking and then making sure that they have all 3 bars at when I appraise them to make sure they have they're 3 stars. So that's been a lot of fun. And then I get on my iPad and I trade them with one of my other Pokemon. I don't know if you heard about the guy. There was some guy in, was it Taiwan or China, who had a bicycle with 20 or 30 iPhones, and he was riding around catching Pokemon.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a little bit obsessive.
If that's what he wants to do, for sure.
Right. Yes. Well, you all have to have a hobby. And speaking of hobbies, let's talk about Final Fantasy XIV and the new update.
Yeah, we have we got patch 7.1 today, coincidentally, and I haven't done very much of the patch content, effectively nothing except taking advantage of one new feature, and that is redecorating my house, because if you open your housing menu, you have a new option that's called interior design. And if you open that, you have the chance to, or you have the ability to change your current interior design. Before patch 7.1, you had to live with the design that was default according to your location.
Oh, okay.
So if you had a house in Uldar or in the Goblet, then you were going with the Oasis style. If you had one in the Mist, aka Limsa Luminsa, you had the Riviera style, and so forth.
Now, before you bought your house, did you have an idea which style you were getting, or did you find that out after you purchased your house?
No, it's the same style everywhere. So you can just go into a house that has open door policy.
Oh.
And check out what
kind of style. Okay,
you
gotcha.
get.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
So, and now you can basically change back and forth between the 5 available themed styles of the locations where the wards are. So you have Riviera, you have Glade, which is the Gridania one. So Riviera, Glade, and Oasis are the original ones, and then you have Far Eastern style, which is the one in Shirogane. And then you have the Highland style, which is the latest addition, which is in Ishgard. So you could choose, or you could not choose between either of them if you had a house previously previous to 7.1. Now you can choose between either of these 5, or you can choose, which I did, the minimalist style.
Oh.
Which is basically a white, modern, minimalist, as in the name, style where you basically have white walls, very simple style, and you have no more pillars. If you go and look at the other styles, you have the support pillars placed logically around the rooms. But with this minimalist style, there are no pillars. So it's basically to enable people to decorate as much as they want with regards to level walls. And there are you had this issue that you had pillars in the walls that you could see. So you had to basically place an item on the left side or the right side of the pillar in the wall, which effectively took away decorating space, wall space. If you wanted to put an item there that was really large, you could only put so many there because you had to calculate where the pillar is versus where you wanted the item to be up against the wall. The only issue that you have left now, and I think that's still an oversight of them, is the windows that they protrude from the wall. So you still have to take those into account. But that's very much better than having all the pillars to decorate around. People did cheat in a way where they basically covered the walls in partitions, so in a fake secondary wall that they placed in front of the, to hide the pillars. But that again went against the item count. You have limited item count in the houses. So if you have a small house, you have 200 item slots. If you have a medium house, you have 300. And if you have a large house, you have 400 item slots. But let me tell you, if you want to cover all the walls in partitions, it's going to eat a whole bunch of item slots. And that resulted in an issue that many people had, and that was that they basically had to make the upper or lower level, depending upon what they preferred, inaccessible and cut that off because they didn't have enough item slots to decorate that anymore. And just having an empty floor wasn't desirable at all either. So yeah, but that's it's not gone yet, that issue, but it's bound to be lower, or people are bound to have less of an issue with that. Now, depending upon, let's say, if there's a person that can, quote unquote, can live with the minimalist style now, and they see that, oh yeah, that's enough for me, so I can decorate around that. And if that's like 50% of the people or 30%, then that helps those 30%. And I think it's a great first step towards making house decorating more fun and more doable, basically. So yeah, as I said, the only wall issue that's left now are the windows. They should have embedded them fully into the walls and not
protruding.
And not have them protrude the way that they still do. I hope that if we one day get them to do that we don't have to empty out the house again, which I'm totally going to do if that works. Or another thing that they could do is make the windows totally optional. So basically remove them from the default set. So if you now go to your house exterior design, so if you're outside your house, you have your remodel exterior, and if you go inside, you have your remodel interior, obviously. So if you go outside, you have your remodel exterior, and there you have options to decorate or to basically make your house build it effectively with walls, with roof, with windows, and then a couple of extra features like fences and awnings.
Ooh.
And stuff like that. So you can mix and match together your house or keep to a theme or whatnot, but windows to come back to the inside aspect of it. The windows are always reflecting the inside. So if you choose a certain style of windows, those will show inside.
Oh, okay.
It's logical. I get that. But if they have a minimalist style with illogical placement or lack of placement of pillars, they can, in my opinion, they could basically remove the windows as well. So you can go and place your own windows. Yes, you have to buy them, but that's beside the point. It's
Now,
your
how
option.
are you? How
And
are you monetarily wise? Is it going to be a hardship if you have to spend money buying windows, or do you have enough, more than enough?
I build them myself mostly.
Okay.
So I basically go out and farm the materials. I'm an
Oh,
omni-crafter, is what it's called. I have all my professions, my what you will call professions in WoW. All my crafting jobs is what I call them, what we call them, and all my gathering jobs except fishing. Fishing is the last one that I still need. I don't know why. Usually it's the first one I max out, but this time around it was just because of so many other things that I didn't get to fish as much as I would have liked. But yeah, I just look up what I need to materials wise to craft a certain item, and then I go out and farm the material that I need, the resource, and then I craft it. So
cool.
that's not an issue. The only issue is if the item I want is a non-craftable item, then I have to see where it's from. Like we got a with 7.1, you have a inside and outside you have a preview of feature where you can preview how a certain item looks in your environment, be
Oh,
it inside or outside.
oh, nice. Like
And
like Amazon.
kind of, yeah, you can see where it fits, if it fits, how it looks, right?
And this is before
The
you
col-
craft it, or after you craft it? After you buy
No,
it.
regardless, you can go and activate the feature, and then
Oh,
you
okay.
can browse through through the internal through the entire stock of items placeable, and you can just check out. Oh, do you like this plant? Do you like this stepping stone? Do you like this statue outside? Right, and then you can see if I like it, how does it fit, like aesthetics wise, with the house, with the tree that I've placed, and you can check on. Oh, I want this one item that I built almost immediately was the Stargazer Deck, which is basically a deck where you can go and view the stars, because it has
A telescope?
a telescope on top, yeah,
Wow.
and it has a little bookshelf with astronomy books, I would assume. And it has rugs, and it has cushions that has star patterns on it with constellations. So it's really, really pretty. And I knew I wanted this, and I went and previewed it, and I went through all the options of colors that were possible. Not that I didn't want to go for black, obviously, but it's really nice to see with different items as well, where color makes such a difference. If you have the option to have the color that you want versus almost but not quite, it just looks off, right? So if you can't color it, sometimes it's better not to place it at all, not to use it at all, because it just doesn't fit.
Right, exactly.
So if you have an item, especially with wooden items, you have some items that have a bland color of the wooden color.
Right. Like
Then you have one that is really vibrant because they use, quote unquote, use a different type of color, right? So it's really these nuances that really make a difference. And if you have a wooden item, but you don't see the ornamentation of the wood, the I don't know what it's called in English. It's like when you can't see that it's wood, it doesn't make sense for it to be wooden.
right. If it doesn't have a grain, is that what you mean?
Yeah. It doesn't look natural, right? So
So it could be anything. It could be plastic. It could be
exactly.
metal.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not what a wooden item should be.
Right.
If it's wood, it should look like wood, right? So those are differences and nuances where the preview function is really, really good. And so then you basically go and check, and to come back to 7.1, I saw in the they have in the preview function, they have a tab that's called new, and that's where all the items from the, I think, 2 latest patches, or the very latest, I can't remember exactly, what they are put together, so you don't have to scroll through the sub menus. And one of the top things there is a billiard table.
Oh. An actual pool table?
Yeah, actual pool.
With physics, or just looks that way?
No, it just has like the
balls, the cup, okay.
the triangle and the cubes, yeah.
Nice.
And I want that.
Now
the prop.
Okay, go ahead. Do you have to build it?
I need to find out where it's from, because I checked my crafting log and it's not craftable, which sucks. So I have to figure out where to get that. That's basically as soon as I've finished redecorating my house, the next thing is finding out where the billiard table is from.
Nice.
Yeah.
So did the patch bring any new quests or anything, or is it just the cosmetics or the decorative?
No. We have.
You haven't had a chance to try it out yet, though.
No. We have quite a bit. We have quite a bit new stuff. We have MSQ, so main scenario quest, which is the main storyline. We got a new chapter there. We got the first wing of the new Alliance raid, which is the big 24-man.
Oh, nice.
Raid. With its story. And we got, I'm not sure if it's live already, but technically we get a new ultimate.
Ooh.
So that's not live yet, but it's going to go live sometime in the life cycle of the patch. We get an ultimate, which is the highest difficulty raid in the game, and we get something new, which is a chaotic difficulty, which is basically a not quite highest difficulty. So we have savage, ultimate, as difficulties, and then you have extreme. So extreme, savage, and ultimate are the three high-end difficulties, and they are going to add chaotic as well, which is also a 24-man raid, but that's only one boss. Much like it's basically a trial, which is the term for a single boss fight. So we're going to get that, and then we are going to get allied societies, which are like stories like that where you can either level your battle your battle jobs, or your crafter jobs, or your gatherer jobs. There are usually 3 of those factions, societies, throughout the life cycle of an expansion. And the first one we get now is the Pelu Pelu. And they are battle job. So everyone that hasn't gotten around to leveling their battle jobs from 90 to 100 can do so with the Allied Society now. And I think for the first time ever, they made it so that the area where the Allied Society is located gets a special, newly added Aetherite shard. So you don't have to go to a nearby location and then fly over there or run over there. You get the
portal,
the location there as a right shard, right.
Oh, nice.
So that's really nice too. Yeah. What else do we have? I think that's pretty much it. We have Hillebrand, which is more like how can I describe him? It's the origins of Hildebrand is basically a graphical test that they did early on in the game, like very early, like 1.0 early. And they did it to check what the graphics engine was able to do. And it's basically a comedy, a ridiculous Japanese comedy question. So it's fun. People like it. People hate it.
I bet.
Yeah. So it depends upon your taste, obviously. So, but yeah, I think that's it. That's basically what is new in Final Fantasy 14 at the moment. And yeah, I'll get back to it eventually once there is something new over the next weeks.
Okay. It sounds interesting and exciting, and which will lead me into why I want to join you, but we looked into Final Fantasy and the VR mod.
Mm-hmm.
Did you look into it anymore? Because I kind of did a deep dive into it, and I even downloaded a bunch of stuff, and I put a screenshot in the show notes of my character and what I did, and I really, really, really had a lot of fun with it, but I didn't get as far as installing the mod because some of the links that were and a lot of the information out there is at least a year old. And from what I was reading, there would be a couple of things I would run into. For one thing, you need a really, really, really fast video card. And I think my card is 4080, and they were talking something even 4090 or whatever. But I might still try it, because just to walk around and see what it's like. But it is kind of complicated, so I didn't get that far. I got far as downloading the things, but everything flat to VR, which is a whole group that has been trying to do take games and put them in VR, has stopped commenting and doing anything with the Final Fantasy 14. And I was afraid the same thing would. Well, they tried to do it with World of Warcraft, but they couldn't do it on a live server. So you had to sign up for a private server, and I didn't want to dabble with that because that seemed kind of ooky. But I mean, for the most part, I might even still try it. But like I said, there was a few complications with it. We'll see that's going on with that. What did you go any further, or?
No, I didn't, because I thought I'll let you.
Yeah, right.
Check on you, because you know what you need.
Right. I mean,
and I don't. So.
But no matter what I try to do as far as the mod and stuff, I will have to use a gamepad.
Yeah.
I could use a keyboard and mouse, but that would be that would involve me just sitting down, and I find it very hard to play in VR just sitting down. I like the fact that one of the reasons I like VR is because I'm standing up and I'm moving around and stuff. So it got me to thinking about why we play video games and what we're looking for in a video game. And of course, you and I both play MMORPG because we want the social aspect.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So you have your friends that you play with at Final Fantasy 14. Now, I have been playing with in a game called Zenith. And it was incredible. The thing that it did very well with VR is that the controls mimicked the actual use of the weapons. Like when one of my characters was a blade master. So while I am slashing and fighting, I'm actually moving my arms and doing the motion. And they actually had a really good combat system where you had these buttons on your controllers, like, just almost like the game pads where we have X and Y and A and B, and then you had a grip. You have a grip and a trigger button. And in a combination with moving your arms and pressing these buttons, you would do different things. And you had to watch your mana. You had to watch, you needed enough mana to be able to do your hits. You had to watch your cooldowns. It was really good. But they didn't have a subscription model. So they ran out of money. And I don't know, have you heard of Zenith?
Only through you.
Okay, so they ran out of money, and they decided to try a different model where they created a separate portion to the game that was free. And the way they were trying to make money was selling cosmetics, and that didn't work. So they've ended up stopping developing on the game. So almost everybody that was in the game has gotten to the top level, and there's no way to go any further. It's still a good game. I still go in and play. My Blade Master still needs some things to get to the highest level, but once she gets there, there's nothing she can do. I was going to go in, and I might still do that and work on her house, because she does have a house. But, it's not like building for real. You can just go in and just create you have just certain features that you can put together, or you can pull out of the inventory. You do need money to pay for it, but they had no auction house. They had no way of buying really anything other than basic stuff for cooking. And so at this point, I have like $5 million, 5 million Zen, so I can buy everything in the inventory and put it in my house. So it's just kind of stale.
Bad.
Yes,
Sad.
it's very bad. I think if they had done a subscription model, they would have been able to, bring in enough income to keep expanding. And which is a shame, because at one point there were, a lot of players. There was a lot of activity. There was a lot of interest. And now I'm working with some people who were running events as to support the community. And we had an event Saturday, and only 2 people showed up. So it's basically a dead world. But I still go there, and I still play, and I enjoy myself, but there's no one else there. I have been going into my really fun game, which is Medieval Dynasty. And this is
the one you play on Twitch.
Right, that's the one. Yes. And have you ever seen The 13th Floor? The movie?
No.
It was one of the first movies about virtual reality, and it's one of the things that sparked my interest in virtual reality. And all it was that these people had created a world that was set in 1937, and they would just go back into this world and experience it. There was some weird stuff going on, but they would just go in and be in 1937, as it were, go to these clubs and hang out with people and things. And that's what I thought VR was going to be, kind of like, I guess, The Sims, but experiencing things around you. So just this is basically what Medieval Dynasty is. I don't know, have you watched it? Did you get the idea is that am back in medieval days and I'm building a settlement. I have to hire workers. I'm farming. I interact with my neighbors on a very limited basis. They're just NPCs with, title card. When you click on them, you have choices of what you can interact with. And you can make things, which I really like that part. Like I'm very big into building different unique buildings, decorating them. And also you farm and you can you have to make your own food. You can't buy it, but the best food is you make it from the things that you farm. Like I have chickens that give me eggs, and I have pigs that give me fertilizer, and then I grow things like pumpkins and corn, and I grow wheat that I can then turn into wheat.
Wheat.
Yeah, WHEAT, that I can turn into flour so I can make bread or bake different things with it. And I can set certain of my workers to do some of the things like taking care of the fields and planting stuff, while I go out and cut wood to build buildings, go and mine things. I go and gather mine so that my smithy can make ingots, copper and iron, so I can make weapons, and I can make implements like axes, and just the whole place is just really satisfying. There's no shooting down people. There is you do have to hunt, and there's several animals. There's wolves, there's foxes, there's buffalo and bears that you can hunt and shoot down for meat and leather. There are bunny rabbits, but because of
obviously,
yes, but because of Vrishna, I don't kill bunny rabbits in the game. And most games that I play in, if I can help it, I don't kill bunny rabbits. I don't do it in this one. So it's a solo game. But a few weeks ago, they started the alpha for testing for co-op, which, there are two types of multiplayer games out there. And multiplayer, the ones that we play, people just show up. Like Final Fantasy XIV, there's always someone there to play with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you other than trying to make sure you're on the same server in the same spot, you can just find the people you want to play with. But with the co-op, you have to specify, you have to invite people. It's have you ever played a Township Tale? No, you probably haven't played that.
It's basically like Party Finder. You go and make a party, and then you go and do the content.
Not even that. That would be nice too. It's even different from that. You have one person who's the host, and then the host has to be on for the settlement or the area that you're working in to be active. And then, then for each session that you log into, you get a code. So you have to share that code with anybody else that wants to join you. So it's a little bit difficult. They have the same method in another game called Dungeons of Eternity. But in that one, you could also go in and find random people to play with. So it's with Medieval Dynasty, it's been working out pretty well with the co-op. The only problem is that it's in alpha, so there were a lot of glitches. And at one time, I had invited someone who was interested in playing and had seen me play on Twitch. So they had allowed people to join the playtest who hadn't purchased the game yet. So this one woman had gotten into the playtest without purchasing the game. And unfortunately, we were trying to help her start her settlement. So the whole idea is everybody can have their settlement. So I will have my settlement, set up my house, set up my stuff, got my everything started. And then whenever I wanted to invite someone in to work with me, they could come and build with me or even have their own place to work on. And in addition, while I'm on, then they could do that. But at the same time, I could go to someone else's settlement. They could and help them start theirs. And that way it would be more, you would have a chance to go from one person's settlement to another person's settlement to help them. While every time you're in their settlement, you would have your own things and your own supplies. I don't know if that makes sense, but
it does. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was trying to be fair. I mean, initially, it depends on how you wanted to play. You could actually just play that you're going to be the host all the time. And then anybody that comes in would be your worker. But I thought that was unfair. So we were trying to help her have her own settlement, show her how to set up her place the way she wanted to. Unfortunately, because it was still alpha, there were certain things that were funny about it. And when she went to start her game, she tried to open a file that something happened while we were working with her, and our games crashed, and we could not get back in to either the playtest or the regular game. We had no access to that game, to Medieval Dynasty, and it was, I'm trying to think, it was a couple of weeks ago, and I think it might have been even Halloween, because the next day was November 1st, and they were in, I want to say Scandinavia, somewhere where that was a holiday. So we were locked out of the game for the whole.
November 1st is in Germany. It's Allerheiligen is what it's called. It's you would call it All Saints. Basically, technically, one-to-one translated All Saints. Allerheiligen.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's a bank holiday. It's a work holiday.
Yep.
So everything was closed for the weekend.
Mostly Catholics.
Oh, okay, interesting. So what ended up happening was that at the late that night, while we were trying to work out with the developers, and it was a very interesting process to work with developers because, they're just regular people trying to help. And the smaller the company is, the fewer people available. But there was one woman that stayed with me almost up to 10 o'clock while I tried to work with Meta to delete the game so I could go back in. But what ended up happening is I usually play on my Quest 3, but I also have a Quest 2. Remember back when I was working, I had a headset that I left at work. So now that I'm retired, I have an extra headset here. And so what I ended up doing, I have a second Meta account just for emergencies because there's all sorts of controversy with the Quest being connected to Facebook. And, if you get blocked out of Facebook, you could lose your access to your Quest. So I ended up using my backup account. She gave me a code, and I was able to get in on my Quest 2, which I could have set up my Quest 3, but I would have had to factory reset, and then I wouldn't have access to my main account's games. So it's really the whole Meta thing and the Quest thing and the headset. Is really a complicated thing because when you play on a PC, your games aren't tied to your account, right?
other than if you play on launchers like Steam or Epic Games or whatever other
Right. Log
like
in. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, GOG. You have those three where they basically are. You buy them, you buy the license through them, and you can
Right.
only play them by using the respective launchers or software. Yeah.
But if you were to log on a different computer, you would still have access.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
can
right,
obviously you can log in to your account
Right.
and use that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Now, because I do other things with my VR headset and other games, I didn't want to reset it to that other account. So I was playing on the Quest 2. And then eventually, after the weekend was over and on the following Tuesday, they actually sent me a file to upload to my headset. And that fixed the problem, which was interesting to work with developers. So I'm back in the playtest. And then next week on the 18th, the co-op will be open for everybody to play. So that's going to be interesting to be able to play. Now, my initial reason for trying Final Fantasy XIV was because I want to play an MMORPG. That's what I'm used to. And I was very sad about Zenith. And while Medieval Dynasty does give me a lot of the things I enjoy, I really like to play, something more challenging. So I have been playing Freeland, which is a free MMORPG, but it's still in pre-release, and even though I've gone in, I've played. It's interesting, it's fun, but I've gotten to level 32, and the only way I can get higher is to just grind, and that means just going in and killing the same mobs over and over again. Kind of like what was that? Make Love Not Warcraft, killing the boars in the forest.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Which for most games doesn't work. Like once you get to a certain point, killing the same level over and over again gives you a diminishing return. But that's what I've been doing in Freeland. It's an interesting concept. There's a lot of neat things in there. You can fly dragons. You can fly. There's even a spaceship that you can go between worlds on, and that's kind of neat. But it's still in early access, and but I still love VR, and it's what I do. Today I went into DeRail Valley. And I ran a engine around. It's really neat because you feel like you're actually driving an engine. You have to do all the things like turn on the switches, the fuses. You have to start the engine, turn the brakes off, and move the reverser. Turn off the handbrakes, and you're actually running a freight train around a very picturesque area. I'm going to put some pictures in the show notes so you can see that. So, yeah, I just really enjoy VR. I've been exercising in it. There's a game called and I hesitate to call them games because they really are like applications. There's one called HoloFit that's attached to my elliptical. And as I'm working on the elliptical, I'm moving through these maps that they make. And they do some really good jobs. And one of the favorite maps that I like is Venice. And you're moving down the waterways of Venice, and the sights are beautiful. Well, a couple of weeks ago, one of my coworkers was in Venice and was posting videos on Facebook about different places in Venice, and I'm like, I've been there. And then I realized I'd only been there in VR, but it was like, it was so familiar to me, and it was really nice. And I'm also doing a boxing program where I box with a trainer, and then there's another one where I do weights with another trainer, and it's really good, and it works out really well. So
how do you calculate the, I don't know how to the term, how do you calculate how much weight you lift in the game?
Well, okay. When you start the program, you put in what poundage your weight is, and I'm using actual weights. So I'm using my weights. So I have these. Let me see what they are. I think I just put in 5 pounds. Yeah, they're 2.5 pounds on each side, and then the bar I think is 1 pound. So it's actually 6 pounds each. So I put that in the, there's a setup menu when you start that asks you how much your weights are. And then the trainer, if you look in the show notes, there's a picture of the boxer trainer. So it uses mixed reality. So when I'm looking forward, the person is actually in front of me with my headset on. So I see the trainer as I'm working out. So when I'm doing, I don't have a picture of the one with the, I should put one in, with the weight trainer. But she's in front of me and I'm doing the weights. I'm following her. And I sweat. It's a really good workout. And I bet, yeah. And I'm actually using weights. The picture I'm showing in that is me doing the she tells you to put the weights on your abdomen, and you're doing these lifts, and while you can't, the picture I'm showing is from the camera outside, showing me, but when I'm look over to my right, she's there doing the exercises with me. So it works out really well, and I've been losing weight. I've been losing fat. I'm down to like 26% fat, and I feel really good. And then there's so many things in VR. Like there's a sailing program I recently tried, and I've been enjoying that. So I think I'm gonna stop here with that, with what I've been doing, because it's been lots of fun. I really do want to try Final Fantasy XIV, and I have to find out what server you're on, because I can still do it. The neatest thing about doing it with my VR headset is I have a huge screen in front of me, if that makes sense. So it's like having a gigantic monitor. So what are you looking forward to doing next week?
Yeah, as I said, finishing the interior decorating, and then getting off to do the new content, the Alliance raid, and the main scenario quest.
Are you in a guild, or are you just doing it with random?
I'm in a free company, yes. Okay.
Oh, yeah, free company. I remember that. Yeah. All right, so we'll have to get together and check that out, and I will keep you updated. We may do maybe next week or maybe the week after. Maybe we'll do every 2 weeks. How does that sound?
Sure.
Okay. All right, so we look forward to hearing from you. If you are interested in Final Fantasy XIV or anything VR, you can write us at CtrlAltWow@gmail.com. That's CtrlAltWow@gmail.com. The show notes will be up on CtrlAltWow.com. And you can find us on iTunes and Spotify and anywhere else you can find podcasts. Well, thank you, Grand Nagus, for joining us. This has been great. Oh. I've missed this.
I've put if you want to check it out, I've put a screenshot of the Stargazer deck into the...
Oh, my goodness, that is gorgeous. And right? See, that's wood. You can see the grain.
Yeah.
Yes, and the little cap, the little stars on top of the railings are so awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so I may definitely have to do this.
And you can come and visit.
Yes,
It
so we'll
doesn't take much. You just have to be you just have to start in one of two areas.
Okay.
You can't start in the one that you started on in Spriggan, but I think you started in Gridania.
Yeah,
on
because
your
Spriggan-
so that's one of the two where you can go, and I can carry you over
Okay, we'll have to do that.
to my house, and
Okay,
you
and
only
it-
need to be level 5 to
Right.
unlock the housing wards. So that's really easy. It's like doing 3 quests, regardless of which quest it is, because you have you get a bonus as a on the if you make your character on Halicarnassus, which is my server, my world,
Okay.
on the Dynamis PC data center, then you get it's called Road 290, which is a
I remember
bonus.
that. Yes.
Yeah. So you get a bonus to your experience, and then you can as I said, with the first initial quest, you get to level 4, and then do 1 or 2 more quests, and you're at level 5, and then I can come and pick you up and then fly you across the world.
And we can stream it too. That
And we
would
can
be nice.
stream it, yeah, sure.
All right. Oh, that's something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm April,
And I'm Nagus.
and we'll see you next time on CAW. Control Alt Wow.
Till next time, agents.
See ya. Later. You headed out?
Come back again soon. Don't be a stranger, dear. Visit again soon.
The Doonesbury All.